from the grounds of Woodbury High School in Woodbury, New Jersey. Channel 5 Sports presents high school football. Today, the Haddonfield Bulldogs take on the Woodbury Thundering Herd. Hello again, everyone. Rob Christ along with my partner, Sean Leary. A beautiful afternoon for a brand new facility here at Woodbury High School. It's been some time since the Thundering Herd have hosted a football game, unofficially the year 2004 in the playoffs. Since that time, the stadium has undergone an extraordinary renovation, an absolutely beautiful facility, and Woodbury, with an unblemished mark, going to take on these Haddonfield Bulldogs.
I can't tell you what an important day this is for Woodbury. Just the fact that the Thundering Herd are able to play a home game is such an exciting time for these kids, the coaching staff, the administration of Woodbury, and the entire city. Now, the way you want to start, though, on your first kickoff is they let up some yards to a pretty inspired Haddonfield team.
I did misspeak. Woodbury 4-1 on the season, and that kickoff returned by Stephen Cohn. Woodbury third in power points in South Jersey Group 1. Haddonfield still fighting for their playoff lives. A big game for both teams. We get it underway here with Haddonfield close to midfield, first down and 10.
We're getting into Haddonfield season, but it's been a season that has really come down to fourth quarter play, and every single play has been such an important part of the Haddonfield program this year. A lot of games are very close coming down to the end.
Your referee today, Bruce Carter, umpire Steve Irwin, linesman George Golding, line judge Dwayne Stanton, back judge Ed Vieira, and your clock operator Bruce Davidson. There you take a look at the Haddonfield Bulldogs starting offensive line.
Had Bobby Abate in the middle there. He is a very good center, a guy that they really like to get the offense going behind. Aruda and Watson, Rob, are two very good backs. Watson, over 700 yards in the 6 games that Haddonfield has played this year. Someone that Woodbury will keep their eye on throughout the day.
The pitch, and just not much doing there. This Woodbury defense standing tall, so third down.
Nice job coming up is Dante Harvey.
Third down, about 7 for the Bulldogs.
Actually, I don't think that was Harvey. I think that was Bundy, James Bundy, on the play number 5 that came up and made a stick. And they really like what they see out of number 5, in the middle of that defense. Not the biggest kid, but boy, does he have such quickness and speed to the ball.
See Baya, your sophomore quarterback, third down, one running back. Baya with a lot of time. Deep drop, throws across the middle, tipped up, and falls incomplete. A catchable ball in and out of the hands of Gregory Horowitz. The senior unable to hold on. The Dogs will run it away. It'll be Shawnee Kersey back to receive for the Herd. Kersey, a spectacular junior, excellent size, 6'2", 180 pounds. And for the Haddonfield Bulldogs, their special teams unit will come on. There you see Zach Valentine, always very animated, career mark of 32 and 21, as his Thundering Herd pointed in the right direction this season. Punt will go.
I couldn't get a better kick for them.
Down the sideline and down at the 11-yard line.
It's amazing that ball did not go out of bounds. It looked like it was headed out. Let me tell you something about this field that they got together here. It is a really nice field. And Zach Valentine said it's a real tight field. He loves the feel of it. And I was down in there. It is as nice as you're going to find. It's, a terrific job by everyone who had a part in getting this facility ready. It came up to pretty much yesterday around 2:15 is when they were sure that they were going to be playing a football game here today. Everyone doing a nice job with the bad weather that was came in yesterday, a little bit of rain, people working through that. So a nice job by everyone here at Woodbury.
The quarterback throws it up, deep ball, finds a man, caught. Kersey brought down. What a great play. Harvey on the fake, throws it up, allows Kersey to run under it. A nice way to get things rolling here at Woodbury. Woodbury's brand new facility.
There you see it. Yeah, it's real nice. Terrific stands. There's a big crowd here today. I mean, everyone down to the cheerleaders are excited about this game, and it's real important for the entire school. There you see the Woodbury offense. And that Larry Gaines, just a freshman starting at guard, been a big asset to this team. James Bundy and Sheldon Jackson, Thomas Kersey's had a terrific year. And Karan Gibson, another freshman that gets in the lineup. We'll talk more about Shawnee Kersey, the wide receiver, a Division I prospect, one of the top wide receivers in South Jersey, one of the more heavily recruited players in South Jersey. Going to be getting a visit this week from Notre Dame's coming in to check him out.
50-yard hookup on that pass play. Short gain on second down. Second down and 9 for the Thundering Herd. Two receiver set for Harvey. Harvey again will option. And he'll keep pushing forward. Pick up 4 or 5, bringing up a very makeable third down. He spotted at the 32-yard line for the Thundering Herd. Zach Valentine, of course, played professionally for the Pittsburgh Steelers, has a Super Bowl ring, and a lot of great memories that he shares with his team. Someone that is always very lighthearted and kind of keeps his kids in the spirit of things. There you see the Haddonfield defense. Lick, Aruda, Campbell, and Marquez. Watson, Bea, Farneth, and Cohen.
Yeah, we've seen Farneth have a pretty good day, Rob, against Gateway earlier in the season. And, Farneth is a nice compliment. Aruda's a beast in the middle, number 44. They really like him. Conquest has had a nice year. A sophomore, they expect big things from. And they have a couple sophomores who have really put in some quality time for Haddonfield, and you like that mix. Bea, sophomore as well, the quarterback. When you see a young team, a couple of young players make significant minutes, and you have that both here on both squads, especially on Woodbury. They have 6 seniors that they're going to be missing from this year's team next year. So Woodbury expected to be able to put back a couple of good seasons. And
key 4th down now, and it looks like Woodbury jumped. Now, the only determination is the call is whether or not the impending rush of Haddonfield caused the movement by Woodbury. We'll go down to our referee.
Wow.
So that is the call from Bruce Carter, a 5-yard penalty. And
we have encroachment on the defense, 5-yard penalty. It'll be first down.
Bruce.
So first down at the 25-yard line for the Thundering Herd. A huge pickup as Haddonfield now backed up to their 25. First and 10 for the Herd. Quick drop, slant, and again it is Kersey. Kersey just a nice size target for Harvey. We mentioned 6'2", and great speed.
Great speed. Yeah, you're right. I mean, that's a nice play by Harvey. Nice job of squaring up and being able to get that pass out there. And when you have somebody like Kersey, where he's such a nice target, great speed, great hands, you have the confidence to throw that out there. But not enough can be said about Harvey and what he's done to prepare himself for the season. He really blossomed into a nice quarterback and really scaring some opponents when he's got the ball in his hands.
The handoff right up the gut to Karan Gibson. Not much there. Second down.
Gibson's a name, Rob, we're going to be talking about for 3 years. And he's a big 5'10", 270-pound fullback who is only a freshman. Also plays nose tackle on the defensive side of the ball, but he is tough to bring down. Haddonfield converging on him on that play, doing a nice job. Their backs right up against the goal line.
Second and goal, ball on the 10-yard line. Quick drop, slant again, thrown, and a big hit laid out. Intended for Brian Purnell.
Yeah, Purnell's a backup quarterback, and he was the guy that was pushing Harvey for that starting job. He wanted to get in there. The sophomore compliments Kersey, and he looks like he's favoring his right hand. That's not a good sign for Woodbury, as they like him on the opposite side of Kersey. Nice job defensively as well there. Haddonfield on that play trying to keep the ball in the hands of Purnell.
3rd and 10. The pitch, and Bundy finds a seam. Bundy in the end zone, touchdown.
That's a terrific run.
James Bundy, the senior, off of the pitch. It looked like Haddonfield had him stopped. He found the seam, and Woodbury scores first.
The son of the storied quarterback from Woodbury, who was one of the big backs back in the late 80s, Jimmer Bundy. Showing some moves, maybe a little quicker than his father was.
Brian Bundy on to attempt the point after. Kick is up, and the kick sails wide left. This has been an area of concern for Woodbury for years, their kicking game. Woodbury with a 6-point edge, 6:35 left in the first quarter. We mentioned Woodbury in Group 1, mark of 4-1. Paulsboro and Glassboro both undefeated. Last night, Glassboro with a blanking of their rival Shalleck.
That's a good football team. Glassboro's locked and loaded this season and just preparing right now for the Group 1 playoffs, Rob. And there you see a nice scoring drive, 7 plays, 88 yards. The big play early on, where you have Harvey going downtown to Shawnee Kersey, the big target. And again, Kersey, one of the top-rated wide receivers in the state of New Jersey. Great speed, terrific hands. He's just a playmaker, Rob. And he's a guy that can give defenses fits. You don't really see that caliber of wide receiver here in South Jersey. You get a couple, but especially in the Colonial Conference and in Group 1, you don't see many receivers with that much skill. And he is a good one.
Of course, Dorian Bryant comes to mind as one of the best we've seen here on Channel 5. He's having himself another fine season at Purdue.
Oh, yeah.
He'll certainly be drafted come the spring. Bundy to kick it away. End over end. It will be picked up at the 15-yard line. Again, a nice return by the Bulldogs. Good field position to start their second drive of the afternoon. Return of 23 yards, 1st and 10 for Haddonfield. We mentioned that Haddonfield comes in to today's game with a mark of 3-3.
Yeah, they've had some really tough losses this year. You know, really 9 points really separates them from either being 5-1 or 1-5, and just they've had 4 of their 6 games come down to the last play of the game.
15 yards from the end of the run, 1st down.
Personal foul against Woodbury, so Haddonfield will start in Woodbury field position. One person we haven't spoken much about yet is Alex Watson. Watson, one of the top scorers in South Jersey, so someone to keep an eye on. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. At the 49. The handoff inside, driving forward, and picking up a sizable chunk. Alex Watson right on cue.
Yeah, he's a guy you got to really key on if you're Woodbury today. He's a guy that can beat you on some big plays. There you see the Haddonfield offense and defense. I mean, 127 points, giving up 101. Plenty of games that were decided in the final quarter. Every play magnified for that reason. So mentally, this is a tough team. They know how to be in close games and find ways to put themselves in the position to win it.
The pitch to Watson, enough for the 1st down, and that is indicative of why Watson is one of the top rushers in South Jersey. Tremendous balance and great perseverance.
And he can absorb a hit. And he's 175 pounds, but he can take a hit and he'll bounce off of it. And I think that surprises a lot of defenders because you look at him and he isn't a very big kid, but he finds ways to keep, like you said, tremendous bounce, stay on his feet, and he's able to break a lot of big runs because of that reason.
2 receivers stacked right. It'll end around, and that'll pick up about 5.
Yeah, it's a good run. And there's not much to it, just about 4 or 5 yards, but that should have probably been stopped at the line of scrimmage. But Stephen Cohn does a nice job at 5'9", 177. He's a senior. Makes a good decision just to go back inside and just pick up 3 yards. And I talk about that every week, is you know, sometimes the big play is not there and you just have to settle maybe for 3 or 4 yards. And where some young kids may make a mistake is they may try to bounce it outside. That time the senior just decides to pick up the 2 or 3, 4 yards and put his team in a better position on 2nd down.
Handoff now again. It's Watson. There you see the tremendous balance and the tremendous drive of Watson. Enough for the first down as he had down at the 21-yard line. But Watson light on his feet. And again, rarely brought down after 1 touch. Gain of 11.
Again on the Woodbury 22-yard line. 1st and 10 Haddonfield.
Coming into the game, Watson with 747 yards.
That's a nice year. That's a nice year. You got 6 games through that, and you got the compliment here with Arruda.
The handoff to the fullback, Arruda. And Bryce Arruda, 6'1", 206 pounds, able to move the pile. 2nd down, about 7. William Washington from Holy Spirit leads all South Jersey rushers coming into this weekend with 890 yards. And Jonathan Grimes, who Sean and I haven't had the opportunity to see, but I just hear he is spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good things being said about him. And we don't get a chance all the time to see everyone in South Jersey.
2nd down, play action. Baya flushed out of the pocket, throws, and hit right away is Arruda. Haddonfield able to pick up a couple, but Dante Harvey laying the lick defensively.
That's something I think you're going to see a lot with Haddonfield is them trying to roll out. But what Baya and also Harvey really need to do is just square up, especially Baya being the sophomore quarterback. If he's able to square up, he can deliver a lot of nice passes. We saw him against Gateway have a pretty good game. And being in that 2-minute offense as much as he's had to be in, he's really had to throw more than what probably Frank Delano would have expected of the sophomore coming in. Frank Delano, the coach, a former Gloucester Catholic football player, and does a very nice job as a coach for Haddonfield. Really knows his football, knows what he's talking about. He's done a good job with the sophomore.
Deep drop, and now the screen pass set up. There is a lane, and just pushing forward is J.P. Marquez, but he looks to be shy of the 1st down. He is, so 4th down and about 2. And it looks like Haddonfield will go for it here.
That's a good tackle by Harvey, just squaring them up, not allowing them to get any more yards after the contact, and put them in that 4th down situation. They got enough here that they can go for a field goal. The field goal kicker has been in a lot of pressure situations, and he has plenty of leg for this distance, but they feel that they probably need to score some points already down 6-0.
They need to hurry to get this off in time. 4th down and 2. 2 receivers split right for Baya. I formation. May have been some movement. Quick out thrown, and that falls incomplete, trying to find Cone. It just looked like their rhythm was thrown off entirely.
Right.
They realized that they had to get the play off.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, Robbie. Maybe trying to hurry up on that play. But the throw was there. They have a lot of confidence, you obviously see, in Baya to make that pass. And that's, I think, it doesn't get completed, but that's the way you build confidence on a player. Even though it's you get an incomplete pass there, you show that you believe in him on 4th down that he's going to be able to make a play.
1st down and 10. Woodbury takes over at their 15-yard line. And the handoff.
Yeah, I thought the ball was loose.
Like Haddonfield.
That play was blew up from the beginning. Haddonfield has the football.
Haddonfield recovers.
Yeah. We don't have the replay on this. I don't think so, at least. But I think what happened there is there was I'm not sure if that was a handoff or a read play, and Harvey, and it looked like it might have been Kersey, had some miscommunication. That play looked like it blew up from the beginning. Not too sure that whether Harvey was supposed to pull it back or whether the handoff was supposed to go to.
Big break for the Bulldogs as they take over inside of the 10-yard line. The pitch to Watson. Watson driving forward and down to about the 3-yard line. So Haddonfield able to bounce back after that failed 4th down on the very next play. Defensive stop, and they're knocking on the door.
I don't know if you're able to see it here. It's a different method of the pitch being thrown by Bea, Rob, and that's something where you're getting more of a spiral in that instead of the end over end where you might be able to get that nose of the ball, hit your hands, and we might be able to pick up on that a little bit more. But very interesting to see that style of pitching the ball out by the young quarterback.
Watson again up the middle, his 7th carry for no gain, so 30 yards thus far for Watson, and a key 3rd down as they try to go right up the gut. We'll see whether they stick with Watson or have Bea go via the air once again.
Goal from the 5.
Nice down job here, Sean, in the end zone, when you have a mobile quarterback, I always kind of like rolling him out and allowing him to see the field and then determining whether he can run it in or throw it.
Right, and that might be tough. That's not his strength. Is one of the problems he has is squaring up, and you're rolling him out against a very speedy team.
Draw, and Bea picks up a couple, but he'll be shy. And it looked as almost that they wanted to get that ball right in the middle.
Yeah, I think it's a design draw. They're thinking they're going to try and catch Woodbury back on the heels a little bit as he drops back to pass. One of the problems with Bea as a quarterback is that sometimes he doesn't square up, Rob, and be able to get that ball out efficiently like you'd like to. And rolling him out against a very speedy team, he might not have the time to be able to square up and might make a mistake. And that's where you kind of playing the spot where you don't know if you're sure you really want to do that, even though that play should be able to work in most times.
We're finished 1 here at Woodbury. They're on top by 6. Welcome back to Woodbury High School. 4th down play unsuccessful, and Woodbury holds once again. Rob Christ happy to honor this football stadium and have a few guests here on the broadcast. First, Scott Chapelier, a local writer from the Gloucester County Times. Welcome, Scott.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
Scott, you've had an opportunity this week to talk to quite a few of the Woodbury football players. I mean, obviously a tremendous amount of excitement just in having a home game.
Yeah, they were really excited about it, especially when they saw, the final stages of the construction being completed and kind of had that sense that it was definitely coming. But at the same time, because they knew it still wasn't a certainty, they didn't want to get their hopes up too high and make it a distraction this week. So they stayed focused, especially coming off the loss last week, and just, kept it in the back of their minds that it would be a nice thing, but at the same time, stayed focused on the job at hand.
Bundy, the ball carrier. 2nd down now, and 4 for the Herd. Scott will give you another question here after this play. Empty backfield, and now little end around the pitch play to Bundy. And Bundy will be shy of that 1st down. And Scott, of course, you have covered this Thundering Herd team for the past few years. Talk about, how difficult it must be for them over the past few years to not have a home facility.
I don't think anybody can really imagine exactly what they've had to go through, for the past 3 years, getting on a bus week after week, the grind of going to, having a home field at so many different places around the conference and around South Jersey. I mean, even playing at Rowan earlier this year. But at the same time, Zach Valentine has done an amazing job of keeping these kids focused, and they've gotten to the point now where they weren't really worried about it, and that's kind of what the theme was this week. If we play here, we play here, but if we don't, we're still going to do the same things.
The pitch on third down, and that'll be shy of the first down as Kersey may be getting back to the line of scrimmage, and Woodbury will be forced to punt. Woodbury, despite that disadvantage, the home field disadvantage, if you will, Scott, has been very, very competitive. And, of course, one of the favorites early on to win Group 1 this year. The field itself and the construction, you talked about not allowing that to become a distraction. And we'll follow that up in just a moment. The punt, short. And it'll bounce backwards, so Haddonfield once again will have outstanding field position. Punt of just 21 yards. Maybe talk about a couple of players or Coach Valentine in particular about, their feelings of finally coming to the facility.
I got here probably an hour and a half before game time, and the players were here pretty early today, but a couple of players were just standing up here up at the top of the stands next to the press box, just looking at the field and kind of reflecting. And you could really tell, especially for the few seniors that are on this team, none of the seniors had ever played on this field either, even though they would have been freshmen the last time they saw this field. It really meant a lot to them.
Pitch to Watson, and Watson now looking to pass, but a tremendous rush put on, and Woodbury's Thomas Kersey blows that play up. So a little razzle-dazzle. Goes for naught, and a loss now of 4, so second down and 14 for the Bulldogs. Did they, Scott, did coaching staff, did they talk a little bit about, how this may change their fortunes?
It's almost impossible to estimate just how much this home field means to them, because it can really be an intimidating place for visiting teams to play, and especially for visiting teams that haven't been here for 3 years. I mean, who knows what went through those Haddonfield kids' minds when they first walked through that fence and saw these stands, the gym behind it. I mean, it's a great sight. It's one of the best in South Jersey.
The pitch to Watson, and Watson cut down very close to the first down, a pickup of about 13 there. So a nice play fake by the quarterback from Haddonfield, and the pitch then to Watson. Now you look ahead and talk a little bit about the Colonial Conference. This is an intimidating place in a lot of ways, and of course there's a tremendous advantage to playing at home, not only because your crowd knows where the game is, but there's this the ability to be comfortable. And is it on the sneak towards the end zone and cut down. Baya picking up more than enough. Again, the comfort element, the intimidating element, the coaching staff able to maximize their time in terms of preparation and ensuring that the facilities are secure, and talk about some of the other ancillary elements that play into having a home field.
And the ironic thing, I guess, is that because they haven't been here in so long, it may almost feel a little bit alien to these kids to have a home game.
That's
and
a good point.
Zach joked the other day that he was going to have the kids just get on the bus and get back off again, so it'd feel normal for him because it's been so long.
Well, timeout called. Looks like an injured player on the field. If there's one coach that can kind of use this as a distraction, or this distraction as an advantage, and keep your players loose, I would think it'd be Zach Valentine. And in the years that you covered, I doubt that Zach really complained much at all about the situation.
No, and that was really one of the things that he stressed. And you know, the fact that this didn't become a big distraction started with him. You know, he's got a great sense of humor, does a great job of keeping the kids loose, and keeps their minds focused on the games and not the situation itself. You know, and I think it was a big deal early on, maybe that first season, that they weren't home. But by this time, they're so used to it that you know, it's just become second nature to them. So, you know, whether they played here today or whether they played at Deptford, it didn't really matter to them. They were going to go out and do the same things.
Second down and goal at the 5-yard line for the Bulldogs. Watson, your lone setback for Bam. The handoff. Watson driving forward, and the pile pushes him back. Watson picked up maybe a yard, so a critical third down. Let's talk a little bit of, you know, you've had an opportunity to take a look at the South Jersey football landscape, Scott. Group 1, Woodbury, obviously a player. You know, we look ahead. What are your thoughts?
Well, you know, again, Glassboro Friday night, another dominating performance against Showick. They're obviously a player in Group 1. Paulsboro is still undefeated. You know, and those two teams have been in the final each of the last 2 years, so I think people seeing what they had coming back kind of expected them to be there. But, you know, Zach before the season said, hey, don't forget about us. I think we're going to have a pretty good team. We're going to be young, but we could be very, very good, and they've obviously proven that to this point.
Watson again stopped, so this Woodbury defense has been very, very impressive, as it'll bring up a 4th down. Haddonfield has had the ball in the red zone now 3 times. They're still trying to crack the goal line. Of course, if Woodbury continues to be successful, they will host a playoff game here at the stadium. And again, I would think that as a team, that is an important element. Is that something the coaching staff discussed?
Not really. I mean, they don't want to get too far ahead of themselves, but I mean, obviously that could be a huge factor. And again, it's not just them that haven't played in this stadium, it's the other teams too. So I think that, you know, it could be a big deal for any team coming in here not having seen this stadium in so long.
Bea calls timeout. And Scott, I want to thank you for visiting this afternoon. It's great to have you here, always a font of knowledge. It's great to see you, and I'm sure we'll be crossing paths along the way.
All right, thanks a lot.
Welcome back my broadcast partner, Sean Leary. And Sean, this Haddonfield offense.
Scott's got some warm ears, man. You made this headset warm, cuz. Were you eating with the jalapeno peppers before you sat in?
This Haddonfield offense really unable to find any seam once they get into the red zone.
Well, now, and it's just backing them up, and this is a credit to the interior defense for Woodbury. There you see it's very stacked up. Liberty Division with West Effort, but then you have a couple teams that have the opportunity. Haddonfield with West Effort still on its schedule could come in and at least share the title. We have the big game coming up next week with Woodbury and Paulsboro. Lindenwold, you see them with 2 losses.
So a critical 4th down at the 2-yard line. Haddonfield again opting to go for it. No attempt for a field goal.
Expect a rollout here.
The fake rollout. Bea now running out of room, throws, and incomplete. Woodbury's defense holds once again.
They're doing a nice job defensively down there, and that's that speed and strength of the defensive line, the interior, with Gibson, Bundy doing a nice job down there, and these guys are just pursuing the football and stacking Haddonfield up, and that's not a credit to the offensive line for Haddonfield whatsoever. They have to be able to put together some type of surge there, and they're just not able to do that. And having a great year is Thomas DeFina, number 74, the senior. They've tried to run behind him a couple of times and it hasn't worked for him. Woodbury just getting after the football with their backs against the wall. Nice job stalling Haddonfield's drives now for 2 straight times.
1st and down, 1st and 10 at the 2. And here a big pickup for Woodbury's James Bundy, the senior, picking up more than enough for the 1st down, as that's a big play, Sean. Backed up at their own 2-yard line. Now they have some breathing room.
Yeah, you just want to get some room out of there just in case you do have to punt it away. On 4 downs, you have something where your punter can feel a little bit more comfortable.
16-yard carry on the play for the senior, James Bundy.
Real important for Haddonfield now, Rob, is to hold. I mean, you don't want Woodbury driving the length of the field scoring on you. Not only do you go down by 2 touchdowns, but also just feeling like you've knocked on the door. Morale will set in where it won't be a pleasant locker room at halftime.
Handoff right up the gut, nothing doing. That'll bring up a second down. Just over 5 minutes remaining in this first half, and if Woodbury can string together 2 or 3 first downs, at the very least they go up 6-0 at the half, Sean.
Yeah, they got to feel pretty good with that. I mean, offensively, they've had a couple of nice runs, the big long pass early on, but they really haven't been able to get into a rhythm. Haddonfield, I think, his own time of possession, and just Woodbury is just held defensively very nicely.
Pass across the middle, wide open. Hersey from Harvey.
And so many weapons this year. Last year was the Lamar Lancaster show where he could really take over a game. This year you have so many guys with Bundy, Kersey, Harvey, Shawnee Kersey on the outside. Purnell's done a nice job as he comes into the game, the backup quarterback, and you can do some different things with him. I mean, there's just so many different guys. You can do a lot of different things, and it makes them a little bit more scary than even when they had Lancaster, because you just don't know who to guard.
That's a handoff deep into the secondary. Ball comes loose. Haddonfield picks it up.
Fumble.
They're rolling the ball to be live, and Haddonfield comes away with the turnover. They'll return it to their 39-yard line. Another turnover here for the Thundering Herd.
I think it's a good call. I don't think his knee was down there. I think that ball was stripped. Nice job of coming from behind on that play. I was just getting ready to talk about Robert Baldwin and the block that he threw on there, but nice job of coming on the backside and stripping the football away. Haddonfield is a team that likes to go for the football, taught to do that. And Woodbury with a crucial fumble. Now this gives Haddonfield some life with 4 minutes left and plenty of time to score.
1st and 10 for Baya. Watson in motion, and he'll get the end around. Watson with a lead blocker, cuts it outside, cut down after a pickup of about 7. So again, we see the electrifying Watson and the many tools he has, Sean. Good speed, great feet, tremendous drive, excellent vision, and a few moves.
He's great at math. This kid is, I mean, I like just the way he sees the field. I mean, he bounces. We talked about that with his ability to stay on his feet and his balance. But I like the way he uses his blockers. He sets up the field, and he really sees the field extremely well. And he's that type of back that he knows when to cut it inside, go to the outside, try to use that speed.
Watson with 53 yards now, exactly 800 on the season. Now the handoff, missing the tackle, and Haddonfield's Stephen Cohn eluding a Woodbury rusher. Did not pick up who that was. And that could have been a big loss. Instead, a short gain, 3rd down, inside of 3 minutes now for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Watson kind of reminds me, you'll probably remember this name when I say this, Kenny Barty from Shalleck a couple of years ago, where you could not get him down with the first tackler. There was no chance that first guy, you could lay the hardest lick and he would not go down. He kind of reminds me of that type of back.
3rd down and short. The draw. Watson in his backfield, cut down. This Woodbury defense has been very impressive this afternoon. The draw, and
the underclassmen
sniffed it out immediately.
Adrian Bell, number 53 on the play, 5'10", 260. The defensive line, a defensive lineman, a junior. Again, one of the many talented underclassmen for Woodbury coming and making a play in the backfield. Now it's a tough call, Rob. I mean, this is a spot where it's 4th down, 4th and 6, and yeah, I think you have to punt it here. I don't think you take a chance at this spot. You know, you're only down 6-0. Clock's moving under 2 minutes now.
The question is, do you punt it to Kersey?
No.
You've seen how dangerous he is.
I'll give you the answer for that immediately. I would kick it completely out of bounds.
Low line drive almost blocked. A good punt as it's inside the 30-yard line. So 96 seconds left in this first half. Woodbury's defense has been the story thus far. A punt of 32 yards.
Mercogliano does a nice job. He's done a couple of nice jobs punting the football. And you're right, Rob. That's such an important part of the game and something we haven't really talked about. But you don't want to punt it anywhere near Shawnee Coursey. Put your defense on the field. Allow him to try and make something happen off the line of scrimmage. You get him an open field, and that can be a lot of problems.
First and 10 for the Thundering Herd. You know, we talk about the dangerous Kersey. Of course, that's part of the strategy tomorrow. The Eagles are talking about avoiding the dangerous Devin Hester. Best starting field position for Woodbury this afternoon.
They'll kick it to him, and he'll score a touchdown.
Roll out. And punt from behind. Hit hard is Dante Harvey.
How about the backs, the pressure from behind that time by Ryan McEwen, the senior. 5'10", 195 pounds.
Holding penalty against Woodbury. I think that Haddonfield will decline that.
We have a hold on the offense. It's decline. Second down.
Bruce Carter, your referee. He's been a part of the South Jersey sports landscape for some time. So a baseball umpire at Burlington County.
You know baseball, don't you?
Well, I guess it depends on who you talk to. Second down. Two receivers split right for Harvey. And he'll drop back the pass. Feels the rush and now keeps. He's in trouble and he'll be dropped again for a loss.
Yes, this Woodbury team, Rob, I really think Scott touched on this, and I think they're one of the most dangerous teams that you're going to find coming into Group 1 this year with so many different weapons. If you're looking at it as a team that's not the top seed, and they probably be maybe 3 when all things are said and done, 3 or 4. Well, they could jump up to 1, obviously, with a win against Ballsboro. They're one of the more dangerous teams that you're going to find.
Harvey's pitch. And Kersey again dropped for a loss, but what he did well there, Sean, is he made sure he stayed in bounds.
Hey, good decision. 18.6 seconds here, and you got 4th down, 16. They're going to have to punt the ball away. Haddonfield's going to take a timeout. Maybe they try to come after the punter a little bit. How about Glassbar, Rob? I mean, they talked about them with Shalleck. This is a team that talk about different weapons as well. They got so many of them over there. And it's just going to make for such an interesting Group 1 playoffs. I mean, again, I can't say this enough. Just the best year of football, high school football that I've been associated with as far as the excitement of teams knocking each other off. Another exciting game last night with Williamstown and Clearview hooking up. Another decision to go for 2. We've seen that throughout the year. It seems like a lot of teams are going for 2 instead of just going for the tie and playing for overtime. You'll see that game. We had some highlights. We were there last night. In fact, we caught some of that second half action. And you'll see us every Wednesday at 7:30 and 10 with the High School Sports Report with John Mondelli, Scott Chapelier, and I join in as well.
So Harvey will punt it away for the Herd. Watson back to receive. 18.6 seconds left to rush. And the punt is taken by Watson at the 40. Watson hit almost immediately and tackled at the 35-yard line. So 10 seconds remain in this first half. Woodbury's defense will look to hold. Haddonfield probably able to get off no more than 2 plays.
They got Mercogliano, who has a terrific lead. Remember, he's the guy that beat Deptford in the playoffs a couple of years ago. He's had 2 of 3 chances this year. I mean, he's missed 2 of 3 chances to win games at the end, and he's had 3 chances to kick the game-winning field goal just in this season alone.
That's right. Watson along with Horwitz and Russo. And Baya off of the poor snap throws as a man. And
nice catch.
was he able to stay in bounds? Yes. So 3.4 seconds left.
That's Barnathan. He did a nice job. I think we called him Horwitz earlier. That's Barnathan as number 33. Good job of catching the ball and getting out of bounds. Still 3.4 seconds left. So they're gonna send in Mercogliano. I bet you they're kicking themselves right now because you got a shot. You might have had a shot to tie it at least, where they went for fourth down 3 times during this half already. 2 times where they certainly could have at least put up 3 points on the board.
Ball will be spotted at about the 30-yard line, so a 40-yard field goal attempt here for Greg Mercogliano. He's a senior. Take a look at the great crowd that's on hand this afternoon, and why not? A beautiful afternoon and a brand new, beautiful facility.
You see where the 8-lane track is going to be too. So they have a terrific track here at Woodbury. Woodbury Relays, always a big event during the spring. And that's been held at West Deptford over the last couple of years, but I'm sure it'll return to Woodbury.
Baya, the holder, and now another timeout call. We've seen this so often now, Sean, where just prior to getting a kick away, they try to ice the kicker. What are your thoughts about the whole icing the kicker idea?
I don't know. I mean, you give it a shot, and sometimes it works. Sometimes it'll go against you. I'm not too sure that they need to change that rule in the NFL that everyone talks about. Yeah, you see Paulsboro with the power points there at 25. Of course, next week you have Paulsboro and Woodbury facing off. So whoever wins that game will get a significant amount of power points. Glassbar does have Pensgrove on the schedule in the final game of the regular season before Thanksgiving, of course, which they should be able to pick up some power points there as well in a win. So this is a spot where Glassbar picked up some significant points already this week with Shalleck. Woodbury with a win this week against Haddonfield. They'll get some good points because remember, Haddonfield, a Group 2 school, giving them those extra points. That's something that you need somebody like, let's get to that in a second.
The kick is long enough, and it is good. Mercogliano, an impressive 40-yard field goal to end this first half. We head to break. Thundering Herd on top, 6-3. Welcome back to Woodbury High School. Start of the second half about to begin. Rob Christ along with Sean Leary. Woodbury on top 6-3. Mercogliano set to kick it away. This will be his first kickoff of the afternoon. Of course, we ended the first half on a 40-yard field goal by Mercogliano. There you see the story of the the field position this afternoon. Haddonfield at the Woodbury 40, Woodbury at their own 12. Of course, the turnovers played a large role in that statistic, and time of possession, Haddonfield again with a considerable edge, much of that inside the red zone.
Yeah, you look at those two stats, Rob, and you would not think for a second that Woodbury would be winning the game.
Kersey returns the opening kick of the second half to the 32, so there you see passing yardage. Woodbury started off with that big 50-yard hookup and considerable edge via the air for the Herd. Haddonfield has really been stymied in the air. They've tried to pound it with Watson. Turnovers Haddonfield, despite having the turnover edge, trailing by 3.
It's amazing that Woodbury's up 6-3. If you look at all those stats, aside from passing, because I think Haddonfield owns the yardage on the ground as well as far as the leaders of the game. And it's just amazing that Woodbury is holding on to a 6-3 win. And credit to the defense, when they've been backed up into their own end, they've really responded with some really nice plays on 4th down. Haddonfield not going for not opting for a couple of field goal attempts and going for it and turning it over on downs 3 times, Rob, in that first and second quarter in that first half. And that really is the name of the game right there, not being able to convert and not using Mercogliano, and the one big scoring strike that Woodbury was able to put together on a nice run by Bundy.
2nd down and 5 for the Herd. Again, the end around and a little bit of room to operate for Kersey. They'll pick up maybe 2.
And one of the rare locker room experiences probably for both sides where they both got to be pretty happy with what's going on so far in the game. Despite not happy, but you look at it and say, what do we do? Despite of that, what can we do for the rest of the thing? You see Frank Delano, the head coach there, 23 and 28 over his career. Real good young football mind, a very smart football guy, a guy who knows really a lot about the game, studies the game.
As you mentioned, one of the younger coaches in South Jersey. 3rd down for the Herd. Split left, it's Shawnee Kersey. Haddonfield showing blitz, and it looks like they're going to jump off sides as Nick Conquest seemed a little too eager.
He leveled James Jones, who's just minding his own business. He gets whacked.
Remember, on the Woodbury scoring drive,
Defense, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
On the Woodbury scoring drive, they had a critical 4th down where Haddonfield jumped off sides and extended the Woodbury drive. So 1st down, clock continues to move, and the Herd with possession now at their own 44.
And Woodbury's got to say, listen, we got the lead. We didn't play well in the first half. We didn't move the ball effectively. Our defense did pretty well, but offensively, we were not consistent at all.
Bundy kicks it outside, straight arm, but unable to shake Baya.
And for Haddonfield, Rob, you go and you say, listen, we moved the football. We did some good things in the first half. We just weren't able to capitalize and get in the end zone. So both teams coming out of that locker room have to feel pretty confident about coming out and winning this game, which should make for a terrific second half.
Woodbury on their first drive of this second half. 2nd down, we'll call it 8. 3 receivers split right. 4 receivers set. Harvey, quick drop, throws the screen and finds his target, Kersey. Kersey right through that Haddonfield defense for a big 1st down.
What about the job that Sheldon Jackson and Brian Purnell does as wide receivers to get Kersey some running room there? Nice blocking downfield by the wide receivers. And again, I stress this every week, I think, is that blocking downfield by your receivers. Those are where you make those big plays in the passing game. You make those short catches into long runs, and it starts with that blocking by wide receivers. If you can get some wide receivers and a core of them to really understand that, Rob, you can make a lot of big plays in the passing game in high school football.
Kersey looks like he's holding the back of his leg. What I like about that play is you get the ball in the hands of your top talent and you allow him to improvise. 1st down and 10 for the Herd. Harvey keeps, and Harvey will be dropped for a loss.
There's just some angry Bulldogs there as he runs into Nick Conquest, again, the sophomore. Also J.P. Marquez and also Campbell on that play.
Trying to go and get stuff.
2nd down. Ball at the 45-yard line.
Nice weather today too, huh?
Beautiful day. I mean, it couldn't be better for this Woodbury Open.
It's the whole month of October has been pretty nice.
Timeout called by the Thundering Herd. Harvey on the afternoon, 4 for 5 in the air for 97 yards. And Kersey with 3 of those catches for a total of 76 yards. And now I welcome Athletic Director Grant Shivers of Woodbury High School. Take a look at the Bulldogs record here. And Grant, welcome. Thanks for coming on today.
Thank you, Rob.
Obviously a big day for you here at Woodbury, and I know as the athletic director you had to spend countless hours in putting this together. First of all, I have to congratulate you, because from no facility to certainly one of the finest in all of South Jersey.
Oh, it absolutely is, and I can't take a whole lot of credit. There was an awful lot of people who worked real hard. The contractors did an amazing job, especially this past week, to get all the little things done that had to be done to get the certificate of occupancy. Our maintenance crew just doing all the little odds and ends to be able to have this game go on. So a lot of people contributed to this thing, and you're right, it is the finest facility in South Jersey.
Why don't you take us through in terms of the timeline? I mean, obviously not getting into any great specificity, but, you know, from why it had to close into today. You know, kind of give us a walkthrough over the past couple of years.
Well, the last time we played home games, there we go.
Big pickup here as Harvey hits Jackson, and that'll be more than enough for the first down. The Thundering Herd continue to move the football. This will be inside the 25-yard line, and now it looks like there may be a late flag here. We'll have our official, Bruce Carter, give us an indication of what transpired specifically, but I think this ball is going to be coming back as a Bulldog player is shaken up. A legal man downfield against the Herd, so that will back up Woodbury once again. But go ahead, Grant.
I'd say about 4 years ago, you could tell that the stands, the concrete stands, their cracks were developing, and the drainage systems were breaking down. We were finding...
We have ineligible receivers downfield on the offense. There'll be a 5-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
We were finding holes developing, sinkholes developing on the field. We took care of them, but the last year we played here, the home stands were closed down and everybody sat on the away side. And then we decided the following year that the sinkholes developing on the field were just too great a risk to go ahead and play, so we shut down and we were on the road. The school board put forth a bond referendum, which failed the first time, and then we're very fortunate the citizens of Woodbury passed it the second time and enabled us to do this. The first stage of the project down here was actually we put a geothermal heating and cooling system in the school, and all the wells that were dug for that system are here underneath the football field.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, so that was step one, and they took everything out, all the concrete, and slowly but surely we got to where we are today.
Well, again, I mean, the facility is fantastic. Of course, it's still an ongoing process. To me, the thing synonymous with this facility is the Woodbury Relays.
Absolutely.
And I understand you'll be hosting that once again. Penalty flag here once again. It looks like this is going to be called back. Thomas Kersey on the reception from Harvey, but I believe we may have a holding penalty, and right now Woodbury is shooting themselves in the foot.
It's the same thing that happened to us last week, Rob, against West Deptford. We had a touchdown called back and some big plays called back for penalties like this.
So this is an illegal motion. That's the preliminary signal from Carter, and we'll head down to our referee right now. See Zach Valentine obviously displeased. 2 huge pickups, all for naught.
We have motion on the offense, movement before the snap, 5-yard penalty, replay, second down.
Again, in terms of the facility here, Grant, I don't think there's any event that has greater history than the Woodbury Relay, so that has to be exciting. Obviously, the track's still yet to be put in as well.
We're looking forward to the track to get done. I know we're racing against the weather, but things look good to get that in and completed, and it'll be a great thing to have the Woodbury Relays back here in Woodbury again, because it is a great sight to watch a track meet, especially one as big as the Woodbury Relays.
This is the fifth play.
So now 2nd down and 22. This is the opening drive of the second half, 7:19 left. And the pitch now, this is to Jackson. Jackson will throw it up into double coverage, and Bea almost comes away with the pick. You mentioned the weather. How much did this great weather play into you being able to host today's game?
It's been amazing how we've been so lucky to go without the rain. It's ruined my lawn at home, and I'm sure a lot of other people's, but it enabled the workers to be here every day. I guess the last time we had a big rain, we lost about 5 or 6 days of work due to the rain and the amount that was still laying on the track and on the field. But absolutely, it's been a positive for us not to have the rain.
3rd down now for the Herd, and they're just looking to pick up some positive yardage. 22 yards from the first down marker. Harvey throws it out into the flat, and he has his man in Thomas Kersey. Kersey still on his feet, finally cut down by Watson and Conquest. And now Woodbury will punt it away. You know, looking out, obviously, you have the beautiful sodded field. That was one of the concerns as to the weather last night, whether or not you'd be able to host this game as well, correct?
Right. As a matter of fact, my wife works nights at Underwood Hospital. I called her about 4 in the morning to see if it was still raining or not. And we were worried about being able to get the field cut in time. But this field drains very well. Yesterday, the team was out on the field, and it was bone dry, even after it had rained some in the afternoon. They put in a very good drainage system. We're very lucky.
A nice punt will be down at the 7-yard line. Let's talk a little bit about your Thundering Herd football team. Of course, one thing, let me just interject before I talk about football. I know that, you know, your humility suggests that you had little to do with this, and so many other people had a lot to do. But I know in education just how much time and effort that you have spent here. So again, kudos to you. And one of the nice things about being the athletic director is, of course, that you're involved in athletics. You have an opportunity to be a part of, you know, watching your teams, be it, you know, women's or men's sports. And it seems nowadays with the administration, sometimes that gets lost in it all. But I know that coming out and watching a football game is pleasurable for you. Talk a little bit about, you know, the job that Zach's done here and your football team. You know, they're on the march to maybe doing something big this year.
Absolutely. I've been blessed with a great coaching staff in all my teams, and being able to hire, when Jim Boyd stepped down, being able to hire somebody like Zach Valentine was a no-brainer, and it was a blessing to me because as an athletic director, you rely on your head coaches, and when you know, it's his program, it's his team, and he runs the show, and my job is to give him what he needs to be successful. It's been frustrating not having a facility to give to him to be able to do the things to be successful, but he's has never been a negative force about not having a good practice facility or a field to play on. He's always been positive. And as an AD, this is why I became an AD, to be here and watch a game like this. Today is relaxing. Usually I'm running around like a nut, but today it has been really relaxing, and it's just so nice to be at home and to see the kids out there and the parents and the alumni just are all smiling and just happy to be here and to be so proud of such a facility is really nice to see.
Well, obviously, you know, we talked about this before on the air. For your football team, you know, not to have a home game in the last few years, obviously very difficult. And, you know, certainly to have something now of a facility of this ilk, that's great as well. But I think just the ability to be able to, you know, have a home and have some degree of comfort, have a rhythm to get into, and you know as well as anybody else as an athletic director how important that is to a team.
You're right. You know, the kids can get out of bed and get here a little bit later than usual and relax. When I got here about 11:15, half the team was already here looking out at the field. Some of the kids were running around, and just to have that relaxation element while the other team is worrying about getting on the bus and getting here, it makes a difference. It's just a whole different attitude you take on when you're home, especially a day like today where you want to win for your crowd for the first game.
Congliano's punt bounces inside the 40 and is hit by a Bulldog. That'll be down and it's off of a Haddonfield player. And let's see if they make the adjustment here. It looks like they're going to reset the football. So Woodbury will once again have excellent field position. So I hate to put you on the spot here, Grant, but what do you think for a little prediction for your Woodbury football team today and the rest of the season?
Well, I certainly hope we win today. It's a little close, but I think we'll pull through, and we'll set up a great game down at Paulsboro next week. And I believe probably the team that wins that will end up possibly with the #1 seed in the South Jersey Group 1 playoffs. And then it's just home field advantage will be a big part of that. And I see us doing really well. We have the skill players. We have a good solid line. We have all the elements there to make a run at the Group 1 title and the Colonial Conference Patriot Division title. You looked at that.
Into the secondary, a big pickup for James Bundy. That'll be enough for a first down. Grant, I want to thank you for coming on with us this afternoon. Again, congratulations. I can't say enough about the job that you've done here. The facility is fantastic, and thank you for having us once again.
I appreciate you having me and you guys being out here today. Thanks,
Absolutely. Grant Shivers, the athletic director of Woodbury High School. Welcome back, my partner Sean Leary. Woodbury moving the football now inside of 5 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Woodbury's offense really struggling to get into any type of rhythm. The penalties during that last drive really killed them, literally taking away a touchdown. And the Herd with first down. Harvey will carry, and still on his feet. Harvey finds a seam. Harvey into the secondary, and now another penalty flag will come down. And Zach Valentine is going to start feeling some of that frustration that we mentioned. There you see James Bundy coming up a little limp. So Harvey, a tremendous individual effort, and this is a spot foul. Let's go down to Bruce Carter.
Illegal push in the back. On the offense, 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
So that will back them up once again. This is a Woodbury team that seems pretty resilient after that last drive, able to hold on defense. Of course, Haddonfield had the ball repeatedly in the red zone, and Woodbury was able to fend them off. They continue to hurt themselves via penalties. First down now, and 18. Again, it is a spot foul. 4 receivers set. Trips right. And another whistle.
Yeah, great. He's done a nice job here at Woodbury. He returns to his alma mater and takes a lot of pride in the fact that Woodbury's got a great deal of tradition, Rob. I mean, it's good to see not only that they got the field here and it's good for the community, but good to see some of the old timers that are coming back and being able to enjoy football at Woodbury. A lot of history at this stadium.
Bruce Carter going to explain things to Zach Valentine on the sideline. You know, Sean, as a coach, a player, an athletic director, you always want to have some type of legacy, and a project of this magnitude allows for that. And Grant Shivers and Woodbury as a whole should be very proud of what they were able to accomplish here.
Yeah, it's a really nice facility. I mean, this is good for these kids and good for the community to come out and be in. There's a great crowd out here tonight. You know, I know a lot of people say, how much money are we sinking into this and how much other taxpayers. Hey, you're investing in kids. And I don't care. My tax dollars are going towards kids' futures and allowing them to enjoy a field or something like that. That's where the money should go.
Well, obviously, I'm a little bit, I'm not the most objective person on this, but, to me, sports is a great opportunity for the community to come together. I mean, you come out here, and you see a lot of people out here who do not attend Woodbury High School. They're parents of former players, they're parents of future players, kids, and it really brings the community together. Nothing like sports does.
And I'll tell you what, Rob, there's some kids that have things that they have they're dealt a tough hand. They come through life in the beginning part of life. It's really not. There's things that really give them a tough break early on in life. And sports is a way where those type of kids really can get involved with the community and find people like Zach Valentine to be a mentor for them. Whether it's Zach Valentine or Dan Pidcock or somebody like that. And that really opens up other doors for those kids that might not have been there. And the reason it all starts is really through sports. It gets those kids to school, and that's what I really think. Something like this really invests in kids' futures and in your community.
Harvey throws it up. A little bit of contact between Watson and Kersey. A good no call. Second down. Not a bad idea. Just throw it up and allow your talent to
let him go get it.
Get that 50-50 ball.
You got a guy out like that out there, sometimes you just want to throw it up. Give him a chance to go get the football. I mean, you want at least 2 or 3 times a game, if not a half, where you try to go up top with Kersey. That's a guy a la Randy Moss and what Randall Cunningham did when they were with the Vikings. And you just, there's nothing more than throwing it up and seeing if the guy can out-jump somebody and come down with it.
3:56 left in this third quarter. It seems the third quarter is taking longer than the entire first half. Right now, Woodbury is trying to pick up some positive yardage. Fake. And again, going up top, Harvey trying to find his man, James Bundy, off of the fake to Sheldon Jackson. So
he had him too. He overshot him a little bit. That's a pass I'm sure Dante would like to have back. He's developed into a real nice quarterback, Rob. We'll talk about him again more next week about what he's done to get into a position to be able to lead Woodbury into a fine season. This is a kid that worked extremely hard, was pushed by Purnell, and they give Harvey the nod just due to the fact that the kid just worked so hard. He worked in the weight room. He worked on timing patterns. He worked on getting the ball out a little quicker, squaring up his shoulders, throwing off that back foot effectively, and it's shown through this season that Haddonfield came in. They said, we need 8 guys to stop this guy.
And the rush, Harvey tucks it underneath. Harvey into the secondary. He'll pick up about 10. So that'll bring up a long 4th down, but inside the 30-yard line, probably looking at 4-down territory. So 4th and 9 for the Herd. Clock continues to move. Inside of 3:30 remaining in the third quarter. 6-3 your score. Woodbury missing an extra point, and Mercogliano a 40-yard field goal to end the first half. In motion, it's Jackson. Harvey drops back, throws it up, and it's picked off by Watson. Picked off, and that really works as a punt.
Yeah, I was ready to say that. I mean, you definitely don't want to get an interception there. You want to try to complete the pass, keep the drive moving. But I don't mind the call at all. I mean, you go downfield, if you get the catch, hey, it's a touchdown. Incomplete, the worst thing, they got the ball there. Interception, you still got them backed up. Your defense is playing pretty well. You keep them backed up, you get the ball back. You already own the lead. I mean, that's an opportunity there where Woodbury tries to take advantage again with Kersey. And you try that matchup every day. You give the advantage to Kersey.
First down and 10 for the Dogs. I formation. Watson with his fullback, Arruda. Bayo will hand it off to Watson. Just trying to create some breathing room. He pushes the pile forward. Pickup of about 5. We mentioned before Kersey, a great talent. You see the turnovers, Woodbury with their third. The third one really didn't hurt them. Kersey, one of the top wide receivers. Morristown, one of the top teams in South Jersey, a Group 3 power. Unfortunately for Morristown and I think all of South Jersey, they'll be competing in Central Jersey come playoff time. But Brian Burnham, their wide receiver, just spectacular. Looking at Penn State, and from what I hear, maybe will be headed to Rutgers.
That's a good football team.
So 2 of the finer receivers. There's Watson again, and Watson just bowls over Jackson.
They're going to get I believe they're going to get Dylan Walner on a hold there. Or it's a maybe it's a Ruda. Having trouble picking up those numbers. A Ruda with a hold there. It's going to back them up. Hey, it's good to be back here too. I love the stadium. I mean, I think Bill Dixon, the public address announcer, said it best. It's intimidating for an opposing team.
On the offense, 10-yard penalty, but we're going half the distance. Repeat second down.
It's intimidating for another team getting off the bus coming to the stadium because not only are you playing against a good Woodbury team, but you got the stands over here. It's filled with people. It's very intimidating for some young quarterbacks to come in and play.
The facility itself has a feel of a college type facility. And that's the beauty of it now with the upgrades. I mean, it's finer than many college facilities. Watson trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage.
They got the hill over there too, Rob. You can throw some nice azaleas.
Yep.
Maybe a couple of it. This time some mums this time of year. You can set that up real nice over in that corner.
Maybe get some tomato plants.
Yeah.
Some squash.
Well, you might not with tomato plants because then you got the referees that make a bad call. You know, could get you a little nervous. Hey, see, nice area there where you'll be able to do a lot of nice landscape. It's going to be, like you said, almost like a college campus.
I'm surprised, knowing your driving habits, you didn't do any four-wheeling before the game.
Not that bad.
Third down. Bam. Deep drop. With a lot of time. Now throws across the middle. Has a man, and it's dropped.
Dropped, and that was
in and out of the hands of Horowitz.
That's Fornath. Max Fornath, number 33. Don't believe what you're reading. Max protection, trying to find Max over the middle, and Max dropped the ball. That's a spot there where you want to help your quarterback out. You're backed up, and he throws a pass like that. And I know Fornath is as made as anybody that he doesn't come up with that one. It's a tough spot for Haddonfield. You have Kersey back there, and you want to get off a good punt, but you don't want to give him the opportunity to run with the ball. And he's done a very nice job, Mercagliano has, so far, keeping it away from Kersey. Almost.
And he'll punt it away. This ball will go inside the 40-yard line. So the story of field position has changed considerably in this second half.
Terrific coaching, by the way, by Frank Delano and his game plan of punting the ball away from Shawnee Kersey. Why give him the opportunity? I know you have a lot of faith in your kids and you think they do a great job. Why put them in the position to try and have to do that? And I think he's done a good job of putting his defense on the field and negating Kersey in some respect in that aspect of the game.
First and 10 for the Herd. 55 seconds remain in this third quarter. It's been a scoreless third quarter. Woodbury on top by 3. Critical game for both teams. The pitch, and Bundy bobbles but holds on and gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
You see Zach. Well, he is the most comical guy that I think I've ever been across. And some people don't know how to take him, but I don't think he's ever serious. Yeah, he takes life.
It's hard to tell when he's serious.
It is. It's extremely hard to tell.
Of course, we're not sure that he's been serious yet. At least in dealing with us. He's a lot of fun to be.
He's a good guy.
Trips right for Harvey. Harvey now getting flushed out of the pocket and does what he can to get at least back towards the line of scrimmage. He'll be dropped for about a 3 or 4 losses. Blocking assignments broke down there, and that'll do it for the end of the third quarter. We head to the fourth. Woodbury on top of Haddonfield, 6-3.
Begin. McGruff here. If a bully is bothering you, play it smart and try to talk it out, or get away and tell an adult.
Well done.
For more tips, write for my new free comic activity book. Play it smart and help take a bite out of crime.
You know,
Welcome back to Woodbury High School Colonial Conference matchup between Woodbury and Haddonfield. We start the fourth quarter now. Long third down, Harvey. And again, Harvey dropped for a loss. Woodbury will be forced to punt it away.
David Campbell, McEwen, these guys have done a real nice job of keeping Harvey unbalanced. And what I say by that is making him run with the football instead of trying to square up. And again, get him ready to throw downfield. They put enough pressure on him just to disrupt the timing patterns. And it's kept them off balance pretty much all game. And then one scoring strike downfield where they had it in the first play from scrimmage for Woodbury was just about all. They had another play over the middle of the Kersey. Did a nice job in that pass defense. Almost
Nice snap.
there.
And no penalty here. Watson picks it up at about the 5. Now returns it down the sideline, knocked out of bounds at about the 20. So good read by Watson as he picks up about 15 on the return, allowing for the Bulldogs to have some room. They've been backed up most of the second half.
Watson almost seems like a guy like you see the field position the first half with Haddonfield. That's the second half here. Is changed a little bit. And that's in favor of Woodbury, but they haven't been able to take advantage, kind of like Haddonfield.
I said I'd like to see what the field position is in each half because it's certainly changed, and our own Mike Shute took care of that.
Shoot.
11:08 in this fourth quarter. Baya drops back to pass. A lot of time, and now we'll swing it out to Watson. Watson, and he winds his way through the secondary.
Extremely low. He was able to grab that. Watson almost seems like a guy. You ever the video game when you're shooting, you're using all kinds of thumb action and finger, and the guy's spinning around, he's juking, he's knocking people over. It almost seems that's the way he runs with the football. Is he's constantly moving, twisting his body, and it's just hard. Almost like a snake. It's hard to bring the kid down because he's so slippery.
A lot of fun to watch. As we mentioned before, Watson, one of the rushing leaders in South Jersey. He's now eclipsed the 800-yard mark. Pitch, again, it's Watson. And Watson, look at the balance. Watson driving forward. And that's what we talked about. Tremendous balance and great determination. It was interesting before you drew the comparison of Watson and Barty from Shalleck. You know, I guess the primary difference, I like the comparison, is that Watson still doles out punishment, but much lighter than Barty was.
Yeah, Barty was a punishing runner. And you know, another guy who was like that was somebody who we saw a lot on Channel 5 was Isaac Redman. Isaac Redman, you think he was down, and he would somehow come out of a pile, or he was just a guy that you need to make sure that his knee touched the ground. Even if it looked like he was going down, you needed 2 or 3 guys to make sure they jumped on his back. And Watson's that same type of player where you have to make sure that the kid is completely down. Until the whistle blows, you continue to go with the play because he'll hurt you.
Now they're going to go into a hurry-up offense.
Well, they use this quite often. They realize that this is a part of the game, and they've had to practice it so much during the games.
And off again, Watson. And Watson dancing for about 4.
See, and I think it's a terrific move right now from Delano. They've had to use the 2-minute offense because of the close games they've had. Most teams don't really use that too often.
Again, the hurry up. 2 receivers split left. 2 split right. Baya throws underneath and cannot find Cone, or Cogliano, and the punting unit will come on for Haddonfield.
Yeah, that's just a poor pass. He had plenty of time to set his feet and deliver the pass, and that was bad execution by the quarterback. That's a young quarterback making a mistake there. Even though you're in a hurry up, you have to compose yourself.
In defense of Baya, it looked like Delano was really upset with Cone's pattern, so it may have been Cone kind of breaking a pattern in that direction that Bea hadn't anticipated.
And that is a possibility. Regardless, his throwing motion and everything, he did not square up to the sidelines to be able to make sure that he had the angle that he wanted and delivered a good pass. But you're right, that could be a pattern where Stone maybe have slipped up.
Congliano will punt it away and a penalty flag here. If this is against Woodbury, it could be catastrophic. It is not.
Catastrophic. I was ready to duck. I'd be concerned.
If you're Woodbury.
Now false start. On the offense, 5-yard penalty. Replay 4th down.
You're talking straight catastrophe there.
I am. Just like that. So Mercogliano again will attempt to punt it away. The wind in Mercogliano's face. The wind has picked up considerably here. And almost blocked on the end. Eric Blackwell. And there's danger. Very close for Kersey.
Yeah, and I don't think that Zach Valentine is too happy with Kersey right now. He wants to go down and talk to him. There you see the herd against Paulsboro next weekend. We're going to have that game. The 5-0 Red Raiders going up against the right now 4-1 Woodbury. We'll see if they win this game. Next Saturday, you can watch that on 8 p.m. And we're now on demand.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I can, Sean, I always miss you during the week. Now I can turn you on and give you a listen.
What's that?
During the week. We don't get to see each other, but on the weekends.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's right. You can always call.
Harvey over the middle and caught. A big hit laid out, but Thomas Kersey able to hold on after Bea laid a lick. Harvey has been successful via the air, and Woodbury moves the football with 8:30 remaining in this 4th quarter. At the 49-yard line, Woodbury looking to extend their 6-3 lead.
Again, Harvey with good arm strength, and he's able to deliver a pass.
Full house backfield, and Karan Gibson leads the way with a big block, and it is Thomas Kersey able to pick up some positive yardage.
I mean, you think about that, Robin. It's a good point. Him delivering that block. 270 pounds coming out of that backfield. That's like another guard being able to come out and get a running start and plow into a linebacker. Yeah, this kid, Thomas Kersey. Enough is said about Shawnee, but Thomas Kersey is a player. And I just really like the way this kid, he's afraid of nothing or no one. He will go in and mix it up with anybody. And they got a bunch of tough kids here. Thomas Kersey, one of the leaders on this team.
And Gibson will carry. No, it's a fake. Harvey. A nice play fake by Harvey. And Gibson just continues to punish the interior of that Haddonfield line.
Now Gibson, as he matures into a guy you can really count on with the football, boy, what a load he's going to be at the end. The 4th quarter, when you want to try and grind it out and teams are wearing down a little bit, you got a big guy you can hand the football off to.
Inside of 7:30 remaining. And the momentum has swung. Woodbury now moving the football and eating up some clock. Harvey to Jackson. Jackson into the secondary. Jackson on his way to the end zone. Touchdown. Sheldon Jackson breaks it open. Woodbury on top, 12-3.
Got to be happy for the senior Sheldon Jackson, 5'8", 160 pounds. One of the guys who played his entire high school career on the road gets a chance on homecoming to punch it in. And in effect, the way Woodbury's played defense could seal this game with that run.
So Woodbury will opt to go for 2 here. Interesting call. Trying to extend the lead to 11. Harvey with Gibson and Jackson. Jackson in motion to pitch, and it's a double reverse. And towards the end zone, touchdown. 2-point conversion is good, I should say. And Kersey extends the lead to 14-3. Zach Valentine putting the ball in the hands of big Shawnee Kersey.
Let's go, guys,
Interesting 2-point conversion call.
Some of you guys don't have enough pride. There's too much on the last one. This is where you got to step it up. Get in here. Yes, sir. Too much on the last one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Squad.
Good work down there by Ryan Warder, sideline cameraman today.
There you see the drive. 4 plays encompassing 65 yards in just 1:36. The big play, of course, the 33-yard touchdown run from Sheldon Jackson.
That was a heck of a run. Good blocking. The left side of that line. It was interesting to see how Woodbury would respond. I know they got the emotion of the game here today, but you know, that second half against West Effort kind of demoralizing for Woodbury, because let's face it, the first 4 games they really pushed some people around, Rob. I mean, they moved the football, they were able to beat teams up physically, and they got kind of handed it to them the following last week against West Effort, especially in that second half. They got pushed around themselves, and you wanted to see if they would break their spirits. I think a real key person into making sure that happened is Robert Baldwin. Yeah, this is a guy that's a character guy you love to have on that offensive line.
Farnath still on his feet, a penalty flag down, and Farnath takes it out to the 44, but this play is going to come back. Penalties have certainly played a role for both teams this afternoon.
That flag was thrown about 30 yards downfield. Robert Baldwin, number 71, Rob. Go ahead. I just want to say he's a guy that you start your football team with, and you know, when you're coming into the year, he is such a team guy, a great guy in the weight room, a great guy.
Hold. On the return team, 10 yards from the spot of infraction, first down.
A great leader for a team, especially when you got a bunch of young players. You want young players to be molded by a guy like Baldwin. He reminds me of what Jason Morrell did a few years ago for West Effort, a guy that really took the line for West Effort, and that was really when West Effort started its run, is when Morrell was there, and Baldwin's that type of guy that really can set a program going in the right direction, especially on that offensive line.
They had the shovel pass to Watson, and Watson knocked out of bounds. 6:51 left, and Haddonfield will need to score 2 touchdowns to go ahead, or 1 touchdown, a 2-point conversion, and a field goal to tie.
And they've been in the situation where they needed a 2-minute offense, and they got to kind of put that together here, move quickly downfield, but do it in a way that you're able to regain your composure after a play.
Bam drops, throws over the middle, and it's picked off by Kersey, and Kersey run out of bounds.
That'll seal it. That is a nice job of just sitting back in coverage. Bay trying to go over the middle of the field, and Kersey able to pull that one away. A senior, Shawnee Kersey, again, 6'2". Excuse me, a junior. 6'2". Terrific town.
An important drive here for Woodbury. They'd like to either score some points or, at the very least, eat up some clock. 6:44 left. Haddonfield not out of this football game by any stretch of the imagination. The first turnover of the afternoon by the Bulldogs. Kersey, the slant pattern, picked off. Baya picks it off and cut down. Well, A little surprised by the play call. I thought that they would stick to the ground and eat up some clock, and now Haddonfield, with the momentum shift, will look to press this Woodbury team. A little surprised at the play call, Sean?
A little bit. I mean, you're also thinking, probably Haddonfield's thinking run. You know, who wouldn't have thought run at that play? And you're trying to catch them off guard and punch it in and finish the game off. And again, going from Harvey to Kersey, but that was just an outstanding play by Bay.
Baya throws and underneath, in and out of the hands of Farnett. Second and 10.
6 minutes, 30 seconds left in this game. Still plenty of time for Haddonfield to try and get a touchdown, a 2-point conversion, and a field goal that would tie this game.
A couple of reserves come in for Woodbury on second down. Watson out of the I formation will get the handoff. Aruda leads the way, and Watson picks up about 5. Into the hurry-up offense. Baya, empty backfield. Trips right. 3rd and 4. Baya will roll right. And O'Keefe now throws, has a man in and out of the hands. Is it ruled a catch and a fumble? No, it is ruled incomplete.
Didn't hold it long enough for it to be a reception and a fumble, so now they're going to be faced with 4th down.
Yeah, the Baya kid, he's done a nice job today. His receivers really haven't helped him out quite a bit.
No, he's made a couple bad, poor throws, but he's also made a couple of good throws, and you're right. His receivers have not helped him out. I mean, there's a couple of balls that should have been caught over the middle of the field that would have extended drives. And there's something to that when you, this time of the season, it's disappointing for a coach, I know, to look on and say, why are we having dropped passes?
They have 5 for 14 on the afternoon with 1 interception. 5-step drop, throws into the flat and has Watson. Watson finds the first down marker and gets more.
Wes Watson's a terrific football player. He runs that route like a wide receiver should run. It has a perfect curl route and comes back to the football. Would have separated himself from any tackler if they would have been on him in press coverage.
Watson brought down inbounds. Clock continues to move. 5:40 left. And a fumble. And I believe Baya was able to fall on top of it. Watson with 101 total yards on the afternoon. And again, Haddonfield into their hurry-up. 5:25. 76 for Watson on the ground. There you see James Bundy, who had grabbed his hamstring earlier. I'm not sure if that's the nature of the injury. Baya rolls. Looking, has a man underneath. Finds him. It's Farnath. And Farnath brought down inside the 50-yard line. Another first down for the Bulldogs.
And Bundy used to be on the sideline this time of the game because he's a guy that smells the football. You know, if there's a smell to it that you could smell, he smells that because he's a guy that's always around the football, Rob. You never see him where he's kind of just standing around with his hands on his hips. He's a guy that loves to get after it.
Aruda, your only running back. Baya drops, throws, and caught by Farnath. Farnath around the corner. Farnath to the 30-yard line, and finally unable to stay in bounds. Nice individual effort by Max Farnath.
So Haddonfield's done a decent job of moving the football, but again, the drives have stalled. Especially in that first half, they had opportunities to score, weren't able to capitalize on good field position. They've kind of been backed up in their own end for most of the second half. This is where Woodbury, I mean, these are kids that, I know they're well-conditioned and well-trained, but, it's hard to rotate anybody in and out, and this is where the spot where you think they could wear down.
Swing pass to Watson. Watson in the open field, unable to elude Harvey.
That was Kersey, I believe. That was thumbs up made that play. And Zach Valentine was telling me he doesn't believe that. He thinks his teams are well conditioned. He doesn't believe that they wear down. I'm not too sure if they do or don't, but they got to play a little bit tighter in the second half.
Baya drops, now getting pressure. Baya keeps on his feet, cuts it outside, and he's finally knocked out of bounds by Shawnee Kersey, but Baya showing us something, scrambling out of pressure and picking up another first down for the Bulldogs.
Well, you knew Haddonfield would come back into this game, make it interesting, right? Every single game almost has been a drama for them. This one's just a made-for-TV drama.
Face mask will back up Woodbury further defensively.
Yeah, Bay was asking for that, and he finally got the call.
Face mask on the defense. 5-yard penalty from the end of the run. We have first down.
First and 10, just outside the 10.
I don't know, we're not able to see because it's far on the other side of the field, but that looked like it turned his head all the way around, which would have constituted a 15-yarder. Still 4:05 left. You see the clock there in the right corner of the screen.
Aruda, the lone running back. Baya pumps, throws underneath, has a man, inbounds. Pickup of about 8 as he finds Cone.
That's complete for Stephen Cone.
Baldwin's going to come into the game replacing Larry Gaines to get more experience there on the defensive line. Just giving Baldwin a little bit of a break.
Aruda is caught in his backfield. A tremendous effort by Adrian Bell. And Haddonfield has stalled in this red zone repeatedly this afternoon. Third down now for Baya and the Bulldogs. Trips right. Watson, Farnath, and Cone. Baya rolls right. Baya with time. Still looking, tipped up, and almost picked off by Shawnee Kersey. It's decision time now for Delano. He needs 3 and 8. So do you take the 3 now, or do you go for the touchdown?
I say you go, you send Mercogliano, and you kick the field goal and get yourself within the touchdown. And this is a spot where it's you have a lot of confidence in your kicker to be able to boot this one through.
Mercogliano, of course, accounting for all of Haddonfield's scoring today. A 40-yard field goal to end that first half. Mercogliano's kick is up, and it is good. 14-6 with 3:09 left. Haddonfield with 1 possession away from a tie football game this afternoon. A beautiful afternoon as Woodbury reopens their facility. Mother Nature cooperated.
Yeah, it didn't look like she was going to. It got pretty windy last night. I don't know around where you live in the upper class section of New Jersey, but
the upper class section.
But down here it was mighty windy.
Yeah, it was not a nice day yesterday. Maybe that explains the lush green sod out there.
Yeah, looking good. The field looks terrific.
It does.
You see the 10 plays, 74 yards off the interception by Baya. 3 minutes, 27 seconds, kept off by Mercogliano. The 23-yard boot puts them within 8 now, a touchdown. Be interesting here, 3:09 left. They have plenty of time. See if they go for the onside kick. Get the hands team out there. Just in case.
Back up on that.
3:09 remaining. Mercogliano teeing it up. And it looks like he's setting it up already to attempt the onside kick as he's angling towards the Haddonfield sideline. Remember, looks like we're going to have a timeout.
Congratulations last night to Coach Folsom, West Deptford Eagles, on a nice win in overtime against Sterling. They were able to pick up a nice victory. This is just, I'm telling you, this has been my favorite year of high school football by far. And very exciting. Teams knocking them in. Look at Clearview Williamstown last night. And, you know, what happened there. And
well, that Tri-County race is crazy.
Oh, you're probably looking at somebody with 2 losses there.
Woodbury calls timeout to ensure they have the good hands people out, as they say, for this onside attempt, or this possible onside attempt. Haddonfield with all 3 timeouts remaining.
There are plenty of timeouts here.
I think the thinking is that, you know, let's roll the dice here. Our defense has been relatively strong. Again, go back to that last possession when Woodbury picked off a pass and immediately threw the ball in the air and had it picked off. Had they stayed on the ground 3 times, it's looking at somewhere in the range of 2 minutes of clock that they would have been able to eat up. But Haddonfield able to illustrate some of the resiliency that we talked about before when describing this Woodbury defense. Woodbury still not yielding a touchdown this afternoon, despite all of the pressure. Congliano lining up this onside kick. And it's touched before 10 yards, so this will come back. That's, I tell you what, you really have to credit Woodbury and their coaching staff, because you saw the discipline of the Woodbury players waiting until the ball came to that 50-yard line.
Right. You got to appreciate the hustle by Haddonfield, but also the composure, you're right, by the Woodbury good hands team. There you see Clyde Folsom checking out a game. Got his shades on. He's trying to hide with those shades, but everyone knows the West Deptford coach.
On K. It'll be Woodbury's ball at the spot of first touching, first down.
No, I'm joking, of course. Clyde's always got those glasses on. Terrific coach. There's some good ones in this Colonial Conference. You look at what Zach's doing here at Woodbury, Glenn Howard. He's a mastermind. Clyde Folsom will take a back seat to anybody. And Mark Deal, just within our own community. Mark Deal, one of the terrific coaches, was able to do a lot with some years very little.
Handoff. And again, it's Thomas Kersey. We'll see if Haddonfield immediately calls a timeout. They do.
And more importantly, Rob, and I mean this when I say this, all 4 of those coaches, me having a son, I'd be more than happy to send my son and put him in the hands of any one of those 4 guys.
Yesterday, talked about some of the scholastic action that transpired.
Close one for Gloucester Catholic. They got a little scare from Highland.
Yeah, coming off of
little surprise.
Emotional win over Deptford we had here on Channel 5 last week. Glassboro, as we mentioned before, really sticking it to Shalleck. And West Deptford, as you mentioned, a 3-point edge over Sterling. Lindenwold, a 20-point win over Gateway. Gateway winless this year, kind of surprising.
Injuries hurt them early. I mean, this was a season they had some nice players coming into the year. They were decimated from the get-go with illness. I mean, illness went through this school where they just had a bunch of kids get sick before it even started. And they had so many injuries, and they're starting to get a little bit healthier, but they just weren't. They're not able to get together now. I mean, they have really been slammed this year by key players being injured.
2nd down and 7. And Haddonfield jumps off sides, and again, the penalties have killed each of these teams.
And that's a horrible time. And Conquest, who's a good football player, jumps offside.
Red
That's
ball
a horrible
foul.
time to get it.
Encroachment, defense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
You just use one of your timeouts, Rob, and now you're put in a position where you got to defend a 2nd and 1 where it was 2nd and 6. Maybe you got to stop, use another timeout.
Harvey hands it off to Jackson. Jackson strings it outside. Jackson around the corner, cuts it back inside, stays in bounds and picks up the first down. Some fine running by Sheldon Jackson, the senior.
Smart play by the senior. You're right. The cutback in bounds. Now that Haddonfield timeout, and I'm not just saying because of this, because it looks like it would have been able to pick up the first down no matter what. The Haddonfield timeout was wasted.
2:45 and counting remaining in this 4th quarter. Woodbury holding an 8-point edge over the Bulldogs of Haddonfield. 1st and 10 for Woodbury at the Haddonfield 25-yard line. Haddonfield still with 2 timeouts remaining. Gibson in the backfield. And again, it's Jackson. Jackson will pick up maybe 1, and Haddonfield quickly calls timeout. 2:18 left, 4th quarter. 1 more first down, and Woodbury can ice the game, but if they don't get a first down here, Sean, Haddonfield will have an opportunity to tie this football game.
Yeah, they get a shot, and you got to make the stop first. That's the most important thing, is you're telling you guys, make sure you get the stop, make sure you converge, don't just let up on the play and let somebody make a one-on-one tackle. Still stay in your lanes, make sure you make the tackle. Let's call timeout, get the ball back, and give ourselves another shot. You know this team is, again, mentally tough. You're not going to find more of a mentally tough team or unit as Haddonfield. They've had so many games come down to the wire. When you're put in that situation, that certainly allows you to be confident come playoff time to be in that situation. But Haddonfield's going to have to get some work done before they get in the playoffs if they do lose this game.
2nd down, full house backfield. Jackson, Kersey, and Gibson. It'll be Kersey. Kersey strings it outside, now cuts it back in. And once again, Haddonfield will call timeout, a penalty flag on the field. Holding against Woodbury. Interesting decision here for Haddonfield.
Hold on the offense. 10-yard penalty, replay 2nd down.
Bruce Carter and his crew have been very, very busy today. Quite a few penalties this afternoon. 2nd down and 18. Gibson with Kersey and Jackson behind Harvey. Woodbury 6 penalties on the afternoon for 50 yards. The pitch to Jackson. Jackson cuts it outside. He'll try to stay in bounds, and he's taken out of bounds.
I don't buy it. Baya does a terrific job of kind of like holding him up to make sure that he gets out of bounds. Almost holding on to the jersey to say, come on, just keep running. We'll get you out of bounds. We'll stop the clock.
Well, strategic error there, as Haddonfield did not have to burn that timeout.
Just fall down. Just before you get to the thing, just fall down. You know, right now you're just worrying about the clock, just keeping on moving. That's what you're concerned with right now. Frank Delano was happy with that.
3rd down and 19 at the 34-yard line. Harvey Well, hand to Kersey. Kersey into the secondary. Kersey breaks a tackle, dances through, close to a first down. Very, very close. We haven't had a measurement today. He may have it, and that would seal the victory for Woodbury if he does.
Timeout at Haddonfield, but I think that that's a first down, and that preserves.
Looks like it's going to be just short. So 4th down here.
All right, maybe they are just short. It's not going to preserve anything. We'll hold that preserved comment for another couple of minutes. This is a spot where you might be able to lean on that big fullback. The 4th and very short. Of course, you don't want to. You also can use him for a good lead blocker to pick up this short yardage situation. James Bundy not in the game. He's with his pads off, so his afternoon been finished. Big spot in the game now. Haddonfield has to dig in.
Critical 4th down. 4th and 1. Harvey with Gibson and Jackson. Hands off to Gibson. Gibson has more than enough for the first down.
And that will preserve the victory for Woodbury here as clock counts 1:17, 1:16. Woodbury, a joyous first game here in a homecoming with its new stadium, new field, huge crowd.
Inside of 1 minute, Woodbury can take a knee. They're on the 5-yard line. They hand it off to Gibson. Gibson cut down. Surprised they didn't take a knee, Sean.
So am I. You like to have confidence in your guys, but just make sure that fumble or something, somebody picks it up and runs the other way.
Seen it happen all too often.
Happens at least twice a week. Somewhere's in America. Somewhere's in the country, I'll bet you that happens.
Harvey takes a knee, and that will do it here. Woodbury victorious over Haddonfield in their brand new facility. Stick around, we'll have post-game interviews and a wrap. Woodbury defeats Haddonfield 14-6. Victorious Woodbury over Haddonfield 14-6. Rob Christ here with the winning head coach Zach Valentine. And first of all, Coach, it has to be great to come to a place that you can finally call home.
Yeah, you know, it's been a long time since we've been here. The last time we were here was almost 3 years ago against Woodstown. It's good that the crowd was here. It's good that the community stuck together as we went through this construction. And it's good to be back home.
You know, one thing, Coach, I really have to credit you with, despite all of the distractions over the years, never any complaints. And, you know, I think that speaks to the integrity of you as a coach. And obviously, you know, that's something that you could use as a crutch, you know, when you are falling short, you know, on a particular week. But you never did that. And, you know, talk about your philosophy there.
Well, you know, my major purpose or main goal is to have this football team prepared to play on any given day. You know, we're fortunate to have the type of kids that we do, and what we look for is these kids to come out and have a good time. They're very good kids, and we knew that, and we didn't try to use the situation with the construction and everything, you know, as a crutch.
You know, Sean and I talked on the air just about what a great personality you have, how much fun you like to have, how much grief you'd like to give me particularly, and we always have a good time here. But that obviously has to be part of your coaching philosophy to keep the kids loose.
Well, you know, after playing this game for 19 years in a row, you have to find something to hold on to that these kids can enjoy what they're doing. You know, we come out here and they know when I'm kidding with them, they know when I'm serious. And the thing that I try to do is get the best out of their ability.
Let's talk a little bit about today's game. Today, your defense, very impressive. It seemed like Haddonfield lived inside the red zone in that first half and yet could only come away with 3 points, and that was outside of the red zone.
Well, I think they had very good field position right in the beginning. They were doing a very good job of moving the ball, I thought. But I knew that the defense would rise later on to stop what they were trying to do. And you know, they have a very good running attack. I knew going into this week, and I told the kids that this is going to be a very difficult game for us, and it was.
The week ahead now, Paulsboro, you've essentially tucked away Haddonfield. What do you have to do to be victorious next week?
We have to play well. We have to play mistake-free football. We have to score. We have to push them around on the line. We have to have our option game going as well as our fullback established, and we got to be able to throw. We can't make mistakes. We can't make the mistakes that going against a good Paulsboro football team, because we make mistakes, they're going to capitalize on those.
Well, again, congratulations on today. A team effort by the Woodbury Thundering Herd, and our own Sean Leary has some of the members of that very effort.
We're going to interview about like everyone but about 2 or 3 people. We're going to start with one of the seniors. We got 4 of the 5 seniors that played significant roles in today's game. And Sheldon, you had the nice touchdown that pretty much sealed the game for you. That's your second of the year. Pretty exciting win. You say this is a team, not just one guy.
Yes, we play as a team, so it's a lot harder for everybody to stop us. So if somebody goes down, it's not like we lose a beat, we keep going.
Now, how important is it for you guys to get the first win here on this field?
It means a lot, not just because it's the first win, because next week we got an even bigger game. So just to start off on the right foot again after a setback last week.
Well, congratulations to you. Nice run to seal the game. I'm joined by Thomas Kersey, who's the cousin of Shawnee. And Thomas, you know, everyone talks about Shawnee, but you're one of the real workhorses for this team, one of the tougher guys on this team. I think your attitude really personifies what Woodbury's all about.
Yeah, it do like I'm the type of player. I like a lot of action, a lot of contact. You know what I'm saying? Like me and Shawnee related. He wide receiver. He play back there, safety. And everybody love the Curseys and the Bunnies. I don't know what it is.
Kersey's and the Bundys. Well, you guys did a terrific job today. Congratulations to you again. And here's one of the Bundys. This is Brian, one of the linemen on the team, one of the anchors for the offensive and defensive lines. How important was this win, and even just for this day, to be able to play a home game, your first time in front of the Woodbury crowd at home?
It was very important. I'm a senior. It's my first home game. I wanted to win, make my fans happy. It's our homecoming and everything. I didn't want to come out here and lose. But it's important to me and all the seniors on the team.
How important is it for not only just the fans, but also you guys and the city of Woodbury?
It's very important. We ain't have a game here in about 3 or 4 years, and this is a game we had to win, come out here and show that we the team to be.
What did it feel like stepping out on that field when that first kickoff hit?
It felt good. It felt real good. I was happy about it.
Congratulations. Good luck next week in a tough Paulsboro game. And I'm joined by the 2 Bundys. We're going to start off with first the son, James, also they call you Buddha, right? That was Noonie. I'm starting to get up on the nicknames now. Well, Buddha, this is a game where you came out a little bit. I'm sure that kind of hurt you because you want to be out there for the game. What was it like stepping on the field today?
It was great. I came on the field to be ready to play, and that's what we did. So it felt real good. We practiced on there yesterday, but when it was kickoff time, that's when it felt real good.
What did your dad say to you this morning? I mean, he's a guy who had a lot of moments right here on this field, and this was your first time actually stepping onto the field. What did he say to you, and what was it like to have your dad on the sideline to experience this with you?
Actually, we was talking about this last night about how if I want to go to the next level or whatever, just to play hard, you know, and just to run hard every play and keep my feet moving.
Well, you're able to do that. Do it again next week against Paulsboro. Tough game. Jimmy, you kind of legend around these parts, man. How you doing?
I used to be a legend.
Yeah, you used to be. You still got some wheels on you, right?
Well, yeah, I keep my wheels. If I need them, then I use them.
For some of the young people who probably don't remember this guy, he was one of the prolific backs in South Jersey, and especially in this area. In 1989, graduate, two South Jersey championships, an all-state football player, went on to play at University of Pittsburgh. You had a lot of moments on this field. What was it like for you to come back here and to see these teams? You know what it's like to be in front of a Woodbury crowd. For these guys to have it for the first time, What did you say to them? What did it mean for you to be back here?
I just let them know that it was going to be exciting. You know, the fans is going to be here, and I needed everybody to step up. You know, I joked around. Excuse me. I joked around with them, let them know. You know, I said when you step on that field, spirits and everything's going to be with you. So, you know, it's going to be a good time out there playing.
Real quick, there's a guy out there that kind of reminds a lot of people of you, and that's Karan Gibson, a big kid. You're a big guy, used to run the football with some authority. You see Gibson. What do you see in this young fella?
I see a lot. I see potential. He's strong. Once he really learns how to run, there's be nobody that can stop him.
Well, congratulations to you and your son, Woodbury coaching staff, on a big win. And you know, Rob, this is a game where Woodbury not only is able to come out the victors. Congratulations, Zach. Come out the victors. You're having a good time. You know, you are supposed to come over here and help me finish this thing up. Come out the victors, but also just an uplifting day for everybody. Not just the kids on the field, but everyone in the stands. It was a real nice moment tonight.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, beautiful day, beautiful facility, and a big win for this Woodbury team. And, of course, bigger game even next week against Paulsboro.
Huge. Won't be there.
Well, again, your final score here from from Woodbury. It was Woodbury defeating Haddonfield 14-6 for my partner Sean Leary, my director Stan Ritter, my stat man Mike Shute. I'm Rob Christ. Again, 14-6 Woodbury christens their new stadium. Good night, everybody.